All right, this is Aero Studios, and we are here at the premiere of the Talk That Shit show, and I am your host, Sheldon Stovall, and we have none other than Cee Banz.
Yeah. What up?
All right, so glad to see you.
Glad to see you too, big bro.
All right, so we're going to get right into it. So this is the premiere of the Talk That Shit show. Tell me about the Talk That Shit show. How did this concept come about?
Well, the concept was pretty simple. You know, just thinking about the concept. You know, of course, we were just messing around when we first built the studio. So it just came out, and then, you know, we gave it some life by, you know, giving it some substance. And pretty much Talk That Shit show was really supposed to be for you to come on a show without being censored, without being told what to say. You were supposed to be able to talk your shit and, you know, be free about it. And it's like a judge-free zone. So
nice.
And that was the premise of the whole Talk That Shit show. And also wanted to be in the community. We wanted the people around us to be able to, you know, voice their, you know, business, whatever they were doing, their venue, whatever they were doing. We wanted them to be able to showcase their talents on our show. So it's just like, you know, it was a double thing. Like, talk that shit. If you doing something, talk that shit.
I like that.
And if you wanted to voice your opinion too, talk that shit too.
Nice.
Without being censored. We don't like cancel culture around here.
Okay, I like that. And we're going to ask you, what does cancel culture mean?
Well, to me, it's whatever cancel culture is. For some reason, they got a hold on this world where it feels like, you know, if you have an opinion and your opinion doesn't match in theirs, then you should be canceled. You shouldn't be able to speak. You shouldn't be able to make money. You shouldn't be able to make a living for your kids or anything. You shouldn't even be in the limelight because, you know, you said something that somebody else didn't agree with. But, you know, this whole world is based on agreements and disagreements. So because you have an opinion doesn't mean you should be canceled. So I feel like that cancel culture is, I don't know what it is, but it's around, and it's been ruining people's lives for a while. So
nice. And I think that we talked earlier, you said that, you know, you gave an example of the LGBT community, Q community. Mm-hmm. And basically you said, like, if you say something against that culture, all of a sudden you're boycotted. Tell us more about that.
It really sucks for the people who, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you're homosexual or not, or you have you're transgender or not. Be who you are.
Correct.
But I don't like when people try to force it on everybody like they're supposed to think like that.
Correct.
Like, if you weren't raised like that, then what you want someone to do?
Correct.
Like, my father raised me to be the way I am.
Correct.
And then when I was 18, I was able to choose what I wanted to be and how I wanted to be.
Correct.
That's a choice. But, you know, being raised a certain way doesn't mean you're against, you know, being another way.
Correct.
Because we all can learn and adapt to anything. We all have family members. We all have people in our lives that are not the same as us.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that we don't love them the same.
Correct.
So I feel like the LGBTQ community really goes at people hard about their differences. Even though you have differences and you can't say nothing about their differences, but you can say everything about our differences.
Correct.
So it's like, it's kind of like you're not being fair with your judgment. So, you know, that culture also as well, they really go hard, and they help cancel a lot of people because you can't say nothing on your opinion about it.
Hence the cancel culture. I like that.
Hence the cancel culture, because once you say that,
you're canceled.
You're canceled. We all know so many stars and so many people that do good things got canceled because of it.
Okay. All right. And then came born the Talk That Shit show. And we're excited about tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I could have previewed it earlier, but I said I want to see it from the beginning. So I'm glad you're here. So what is your favorite episode? I know you recorded a season. What is your favorite episode? Tell us what we're looking forward to.
We got a lot of episodes. We got a lot of like local talent that we brought on the screen, and because of that, you know, a lot of people started seeing, you know, some more revenue because of it. You know, that was the whole point. We wanted people to, you know, be exposed. Like before I even did this podcast or started producing these shows, I never knew nothing about these, you know, local talents, which is a shame because, you know, in our community, we should be knowing everything. And there was nothing, like, I feel like people weren't broadcast or advertised enough in this community for their talents. And we have some talented people in this city.
Okay.
Like, believe it or not, rappers, we got actors, we got artists, we got, you know, designers. There's so many people that came on this show that you wouldn't have known that did that. It's unbelievable. So, and I was glad I had the opportunity to meet every one of them.
All right, nice. All right, so 2 more questions, and we're going to get you out of here. We know you're busy, Mr. Banz. It's going to be a premiere party, I'm sure, and I hope I'm invited. I am relatives or family, by the way.
Right.
All right, so last question. What is a zombie?
Let me guess. My brother put you up to this. I'm assuming. All right. So the zombie was just like, I don't know. I was in my Cee Banz partying days, and like we're just having fun. And there was a song that came out with I forgot the rapper's name, Fabio. He used to always say in every song, I give my shooters a perk. Now I'm your personal zombie. So I just made it like a dance, and you know, it kind of worked for me.
Okay.
Like you just get up and you just, you know what I'm saying? Hit the shorty with the zombie and it's over.
Oh, man.
Like, you know, the whole party comes in. No, I'm not doing it again. You get it one time. You know,
that was awesome,
catch
boy.
me in the bar doing it.
Yo, I can see that on TikTok from now on for like the next 100,000 scrolls that I do.
You wild. But we gonna make people our personal zombies after this, because you're gonna follow. You're gonna check things out. You're gonna see how we move, and you already know how Cee Banz is anyway.
All right, so I want everybody to get ready for the premiere. It's going to be premiering, and it's going to be on every Wednesday, starting at 8:00, and we're going to see more of Cee Banz. He's going to be telling us more about this. Now, tell me a little bit more about them wild parties that you threw.
Arrow was doing a lot. Like, Arrow was just everywhere. So we was doing like after hour parties. When we first started, like we were kind of like skeptical about doing it because of the space we were in. But after that, it was just like, you know what? They want to party with us. Let's party. So we used to, you know, I threw one by myself. Like literally, I just left the club and just said, everybody come back with me to the studio. And we had like the whole club at the studio, like partying, like it was 1999. So it was really cool. Like I had a lot of fun. I think I woke up, like I got woken up by my brother on the couch, because that's what it was, like one of them hangover nights. Like we just partied the whole night and then crashed or whatever. So it was really fun. I had a lot of fun doing that.
All right. So did you ever record any of these parties?
Listen, if the people permit, you already know that we put them in the green screen. We had you partying in the background in New York. We had you on us. You know, there was a couple scenes we had you in the background just dancing, but you right in the studio. So it was like a green screen party. It was dope. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So we're happy about that, Mr. Banz. Sorry, Cee Banz.
Cee Banz.
So we can look forward to looking throughout the shows. Like if you want to do any name drops or just tell us what we can kind of look forward to every week on Wednesdays, starting at 8 p.m.
First, I want to shout out Mia Ora. She was my co-host. She was like the one that when we talked about this, she was the one that was able to bring all those guests to the studio. I did not know any of those people before she came to the studio, and she's very known in the city, and she was able to bring a lot of people into the studio, and I got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of connections. That, you know, so I'm always grateful for having Mia on the show as my co-host. Nice. She's the Ratchet Hippie and the Ratchet Hippie crew.
Nice.
That's my people's. Like we don't party too, so they already know what it is.
Okay.
I also want to shout out like all the guests that came on the show. I'm talking about my cousin Gypsy, which we just found out we were cousins. Gypsy, we had so many guests. I mean, we had Tiffany. She's a local like activist in this community. We've had Audie. We'd had. I don't even know. Like, it's so many guests. Like, I got to go down the list. I mean, I don't want to forget nobody. You know what I mean? Because that's not right. But I just want to just say that we had a lot of wonderful guests. I got to meet Shandall. If I want to just keep remembering all the shows that we did, it's crazy. We did a lot of shows, and
okay,
and I'm very appreciative for that.
All right, nice, thank you. How did you end up getting a co-host of that stature, by the way?
Well, I remember when I first started the studio thing, when we first started kind of building this, me and my family, we just started building it. I had went down to the city hall for the Black Lives Matter mural, and I was just recording it, just taking pictures. I got a lot of, footage of all that art that they did on the street before they erased it and, moved it to the other place. So I was down there and, with my man Killer and, Christopher, you already know that's my family too. We was just down there just recording and doing stuff, and he introduced me to her, and we just hit it off. We had the same kind of ideas when it came down to what we wanted to see come out of the podcast, because I was looking for a co-host, because it's my first time doing something, so I wanted a little like help doing it. So I felt like, at the time she was perfect for the job. I interviewed a couple other females, but she was the one that really was able to bring what I wanted out on that podcast or on that show. So, like I said, I can't thank her enough for what she did for me.
All right, see. So tell me about the recording at the police station.
Oh, that right there. Like I was doing a lot of like background stuff. Like I was doing a lot of like community things, because that was another thing I wanted to do with this equipment. I wanted to showcase our community. So I remember Tiffany Alicia, she like I said, she's a very active person in the community. She was doing a presentation down at the police station about an FBI investigation on policing in this city, and how there was, people just robbing they were doing drug raids. The DEA, there was someone on the DEA who was, busting people, but they were keeping the money. So it's a whole FBI investigation, a very long report, and I thought that was so important for our community. So there was a couple people that supported, but I felt like a lot of people should have supported her, because before that, I had seen a live with her, and she was at a city hall, and she ended up getting like taken away by police, and like there was no males there. There was no one there to protect this black woman. But females. And basically I felt like someone needed to be there, a male figure.
Correct.
So them police couldn't just do that to her, because that's around when Black Lives Matter was really strong.
Correct.
We were riding for our fellow brothers and sisters,
yeah.
And I felt like no brothers was there. And I didn't like that when I seen the live, so I went down the next time and recorded it and made sure there was a male involved, because they were going to have them police. Them police were definitely out there that night, and they were definitely ready to, because they had the barricades and everything, because she said she was going to sit down there for 24 hours and read this report.
Nice. And
I said, if there's a sister out there that's going to do that, I'm going to be right there as much as I can.
Amazing.
Because that takes commitment. That takes, that's a strong woman right there.
Amazing.
To be able to do that. Nice. Not one man did that. That was a female who did that. And she's amazing. Very strong black woman. So I commended that, and I wanted to see it. I wanted to record it. I wanted to put it out there.
Nice. That's amazing. It really is. I'm speechless. That's amazing. Thank you. All right. And lastly, the Black and Brown Wall Street.
After Tiffany came on our show, she was amazed about what we were doing. We were some talented young brothers. and we old by the way, but we was young brothers in the game. And when we were fairly new to what we were doing. So when we did that and she came in and she was amazed, she does a lot of things in the community. So she had reached out and said she wanted us to record her show or her event for the whole amount of days. And she wanted to she wanted us to record it and, you know, set it up for us. So we came up with an agreement. And we went out there, and I'm telling you, we came out there hard, man. We came out there stunting, like, you know, very new. That was really exciting. I was so excited for that type of deal. When we just came in the game, that's what was so exciting about it. We just came on the scene as a studio, and we got that type of opportunity. And I really appreciate Tiffany for that opportunity because that created more opportunities for the studio. You know, we got a couple podcasts, gigs off of that, and you can't put a price on that. You know what I mean? It don't matter about the situation and how they tried to sabotage the Black and Brown Wall Street event, but we still made it happen, and we still went through, pushed on, and it worked out. So, like, shout out to Tiffany. Like I said, I've been speaking on her a lot. She did her thing with that, and I'm glad that we were a part of that. Like that really put us on a different atmosphere, like in a different part of the map.
True. So, just stepping in for a moment, I did want to say shout out to Tiffany. She did come through.
Yes, sir.
It was a great event. We will be airing that on the channel as well. The whole Kwanzaa event that happened. Now, is there anything you want to let the people know since, you know, you're here, and tell us anything extra about your show?
Just wanted to say the show is the show. Don't look at, you know, the person behind the camera. Just look at what the substance of the show. And the substance of the show was to promote and big up our local artists, our local people, the people who are doing things. We also wanted to show you things that have never been done before, because we did trend set some things there.
Right.
We were doing live shows. Facts. And we were putting commercials on them live shows. I'm talking live commercials on a F8 Facebook live show. So until you see that, until you let me know you've seen that, we definitely came up with that. So you can talk whatever you want about Arrow, but I know that Arrow was doing our thing when we started this. So, and there's a lot more to come. So I don't have a lot to say. I just say just stay tuned. Just keep watching. We out here, baby. Just know that.
That's what's up.